Don't think it's.
It's all right. We'll wait till Bruce and Chief are done.
Everyone's staring.
Should be okay on it.
We can start when Bruce and Chief are done.
I have a question about.
Place the name was actually, if they're the two bulls of the woods, they are trying to lock up.
Let's hit it. Let's do it. You ready? Chief, we've been waiting for like 5 minutes. It's okay. It's all right. You were talking to Bruce. We'll let it go. All right.
You are.
Not yet. All right, we want to welcome everybody here tonight. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. In honor of his last council meeting with us, I've asked Councilor Chitwood to lead us in the prayer and pledge. Please rise.
Please bow. Excuse me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this gathering of city officials tonight to come and do the city's business, to take care of what we need to now, and also look long-term for what we need to do. I'd like to thank you and praise you, and everybody remember our service members. They help give us this right and protect our right to gather freely like this. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Face flag, attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you. We will go ahead and have roll call real quick.
Terry Lamar,
Here.
Toya Shropshire,
Here.
Lori Bradshaw,
Here.
Travis Malure,
Here.
Randy Chitwood,
Here.
Charles Trammell,
Here.
Chris Gantier,
Here.
Bruce Smith.
Here.
All right, item number 2, petitions from the audience. We have tonight some very special petitions from the audience. Some individuals in our town that I am very proud of. They are representing Pryor well. It is the Pryor Youth Cheer, and I have invited them here for recognition tonight because they are representing Pryor at nationals. So I'm going to read their names off. If you will come on in, young ladies. Come stand right up here in front so everybody can see you. Right up here. Yes. Yeah, just right up here. It's okay, we don't bite. Oh, down there, dude. Nope, they bite down there. All right. All right. I think I have everybody's name here. So, ready? I don't have the parents, but we got a lot of them. All right. So if I call your name, if you'll just show us who you are, all right? Madeline Sweeney. Parker Wallace. Addison Kokendorfer. Avery Silverstone. Is it Maya Smith? Mia Smith? I'm so sorry. Natalie Steffens. Molly Eddings. Nevaeh Bridges. Hannah Cowgill. Haley Chandler. Piper Smith. Riley McCammon. Ava Crawford. Kimber Guess. Carly Scraper. Emma Bradshaw. Haley Ward. Peyton Smith. Did I get you all? Did I get everybody? Awesome. All right. So then we have Coach Williams, Christy Williams. All right. Brianna Crawford. Abigail Wagner. Becky Ward. And Hillary Ward. So if we could give them... So, will one of you tell us where you're headed?
Orlando, Florida.
They're heading to Orlando to represent Pryor. So,
They're headed to Prep and Rec Grand Nationals with the Open. They are currently ranked #1 in their division in the nation. In the nation.
Wow. And I understand they had a good weekend this last weekend.
They did. They won first place. They won rings.
Awesome.
They won rings and medals and brought home another first place banner. They've placed first in every competition they've done in their division this season.
So, something for us to be super proud of. We can only wait to hear how it goes in Florida. So, good job, girls. You deserve all the best of luck, best of safety in your travels. And like you said, we look forward to your return.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask a question?
You sure can.
Was this the group that was trying to raise funds outside of Walmart for the trip?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
I was
honked.
99.9% sure, but I thought I'd give the plug, so.
There were-
Those that are watching the video.
Well, there were 3 of them that were standing there that day, and I honked as I went by. Who, was that you?
We try and raise money anyway.
I think they jumped about 1.5
Can you give us a rough idea of where you are with the cost of the trip? I know it's expensive.
Yeah, so
I know Daddy's bank account's empty, I think.
Well, that's what one of their signs say. It says, "Dad's tapped out, help us out." So, they won since they were ranked #1 in the nation, their competition fees, which is $400 per girl, was paid by the promoter for us to go. So we're raising money for the travel expenses of getting there, staying there, driving there, eating there, and it's at Universal Studios in Orlando. So we're still taking donations if anybody's interested.
All right, well, congratulations, girls. Like we said, we look forward to
Can
your...
we get a picture with y'all with them?
Yes.
You guys just wanna,
Council,
like,
can we just stand up?
We're in the hall, aren't we?
No.
I'm gonna come down here.
The mayor is squeezing you.
All right.
All right, everybody say liberty.
Liberty.
Thank you,
All right.
thank you, thank you.
I'll get you down here. I will tell Mrs. Doyle. All right, girls, thank you for coming.
And for anybody that's wondering, these girls range from 4th grade up to 9th grade. So we've got a mix between the elementary schools, the middle school, and the high school. And 4 months. We've all been with us 4 months.
1 month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool, cool. Yo, how cool is that?
That's good.
Pryor is getting represented nationally with these girls. That is amazing. All right. I have no further petitions, so I think 23 of them is enough. Item 3, consent agenda. Are there any items that we need to have pulled?
Yes, Mr. Mayor,
Okay, let's hear
several
it.
on my list anyway.
Go ahead.
H, Q, R, S, U, V is in Victor, and W.
Okay.
How about F, is in Frank, G, and I?
F, G, and I.
Yeah.
We already got it.
F,
All right, I have to be removed. F, G, H, I, Q, R, S, U, V, W. Anything else?
X.
X. Oh, gosh. All right. And X. Do I have a motion to approve all others?
Motion or second.
We have a motion from Choya and a second from Gauthier. When ready, call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Malure,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Okay. Item F, approve accepting a bid in the amount of $10,000 to Cayman Concrete to build a retaining wall in the kennel area of Pryor Creek Animal Shelter to be paid from Animal Shelter Capital Outlay Account 444455425. Other bids received, GW Construction and Fencing Company in the amount of $10,565, and Matlock Construction in the amount of $11,000.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion from Chitwood and a second from Gantier.
And Mr. Mayor, I asked this to be pulled. I have a question. What is the amount of money that is in that account?
Right.
I'm gonna let the clerk answer that. She's got that on her.
that capital outlay account has,
Like 46 something.
it doesn't have the budget into.
Yeah, we're showing negative 2878 on the financials. But you're right, there is no budgeted amount.
Yeah, we budgeted 50, and we didn't have anything out of that, so it was 46 something, because we took a truck out, $2,800, all we've done on capital outlay on that account.
Where did you get your numbers from?
That's from last year, what we budgeted in it, because we budgeted 50 again, because we had that, you know, we knew we were gonna do the wall, so it's whatever we didn't spend any out of that account.
That was
Well,
strictly,
the truck.
Mine shows something like 8166 in it.
is that that one, or is that the donation?
That's the 44,445.
That amount is how much we've spent out of that account.
Hmm?
That's how much we've spent.
Well, then, what? It says you're the budget amount.
It's the year-to-date, that's how much we've spent out of that account so far.
There's nothing been spent out of it.
We budgeted 50,000 in 444455448,
Okay, so,
which is for the animal shelter.
444455448.
5448.
That's still showing zero budgeted amount.
I know,
Okay.
I hadn't finished.
Oh, sorry.
That budget is not entered either, but that account has spent $2,400.
That's the one that, yeah, it should be out of, because we had 50,000 in it, and then we spent that truck out of it, so it's come out all year.
So we need to amend that to 5448.
that would be worse.
That would leave $39,433.08. If we were including the capital outlay account number that was listed on here, that should be an account number that is deactivated. So I would prefer to basically move the purchases over to the budgeted capital outlay account, which would leave them with $39,433. If we don't move that over, then
So you're wanting to move it to 5425? Or 5448?
5448 is what we've actually budgeted money for.
And you said you want to move it though?
Move the purchases that they've made under 5425 to the 5448.
And then take F, which we're talking about now.
10,000.
Out of
G.
5448.
G would also come out of 5448, F and G, instead of listed 5425,
And
correct?
that's 37 what?
You said 39,343.
Yeah, 39,433.
Okay.
If we don't move the purchases out of 5425, that would leave 47,600.
And some of that's probably from the other capital stuff, because we did do,
Right.
flooring and some other things out there, so.
Okay. Would you
What's
like to.
Stuff happening.
Yep, we're moving, it's a lot of moving parts out there. And I may have put the wrong, I go off Cassell, so maybe, I don't know if I got the wrong account number when I put this down or not, but.
Yeah, I don't remember the other account number being there, but it definitely needs deactivated.
Okay.
So we need to amend that motion to 444455448.
For both the FNG?
Yeah, it'll have to be, yeah, both of them.
Yeah,
But we can only do that right now.
right.
And I amend my motion
Second.
to change the account number, ending in 5448.
All right. Further discussion on that?
And basically what this is that inside the kennel area, the wall it's metal, and over the years it's been eaten away with the chemicals and stuff from the dogs. And we came up with a solution. I got Carmen Concrete out there to look at it. You know, they're going to build a 2-foot wall, a retaining wall. We're going to pull the panels, so that's what the next one's for. So basically, somebody's going to have to go in there, and if you've ever been there, it's all metal sheeting in there. We're going to pull all those panels out of the way. One whole roll of kennels is going to have to come off. Then Carmen Concrete's going to come in. They're going to pull the retaining wall on the inside of it. They'll go right up against the outside wall and put a metal form board. They'll go 6 inches or 8 inches into the existing room and put another form, and they're going to drill rebar every so many feet down throughout that whole place, and then pour it. And then we're going to have to come back in. They're going to cut the sheet metal to fit, and they're going to put it back down and put a lip over the cross. We're also looking at foam insulation in there to help with utility costs, which is like, he's quoted at $1,800 the highest on the foam insulation. And that will hopefully help, because next year we're going to look at maybe some AC units in that area. But this should be at least our lifetime fix. So
Our AC units don't keep up right now.
and that's the problem, you know, in those walls, you got a 4-inch wall it's metal, and they got that old insulation in there, it's just junk.
It's
So
just
hopefully
washed
this
out
will,
on the floor with the mouse.
looking at foaming all that area, and it will help with utilities and
Has
stuff.
anybody been in that to see it? Do
Yes.
we all know what he's talking about?
Yeah,
If you haven't, I would encourage you to go look at it before they
And
start.
we're gonna use existing tin, so I talked to them, they're gonna pull all that existing off and then cut, I mean, nothing wrong, you know, a foot up. So they're just gonna cut it back to fit and then put a piece of trim over where it comes back
The
down
way
that
it is
wall.
now, it's rusty, it's very jagged, very sharp,
That is true.
about 4 to 6 inches throughout, so it should help us take care of that building a little
Yep,
bit more.
so,
And the animals in it, so they're not getting cut when they run by it.
Yeah. All right. Any further questions, comments? Okay, call for the vote.
Shropshire,
yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Malure,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Okay. Item G, approve accepting a bid in the amount of $4,200 to GW Construction and Fencing Company to replace damaged metal in the kennel area and cut to fit the new retaining wall to be paid from animal shelter capital outlay account. And we noted this change, 44445-5448 rather than 5425. Other bids received, Couch Construction in the amount of $4,500 and M&M Properties in the amount of $4,800.
Motion to approve with that, change that's noted.
Second.
Motion from Gantier and a second from Chitwood. Call for the vote. Further discussion? No, okay, call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Malure,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Yes.
Gantier, Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
No, you
Shropshire.
got one more, I
Yes.
think.
I'll give down that, well done. Oh, no,
All right, item H, approve amending chapter 1 of the City of Pryor Creek Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual to include procedures for responding to discrimination complaints from clients, customers, program participants, and the City of Pryor Creek and/or Pryor Creek Police Department, and VAWA VOCA confidentiality policy. That is the Violence Against Women Act and the violence, what is VOCA? I don't remember what that one is, I'm sorry.
Did you put that on
Why
there?
did you ask me that?
She could probably put that on there because she handles the side of it.
Child abuse?
No, it's like a domestic violence type thing. I would have to look it up.
Anyways,
I should look it up.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna call VAWA.
yeah, those are grant-funded positions, correct?
The VAWA is, yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay,
Can
I
we
will
have a
make that-
motion second?
I'll
Yes.
make the motion.
we have a motion from Chitwood,
I'll second.
Second from Choya.
Victims of crimes.
Victim of crimes, that's what it is.
There you go. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you.
You can
Well,
put that down as a library reference question answer.
Gotcha.
Yes, please do, get credit for that.
I'll report on it next month.
You can have a new column that says "and council stuff." All right, questions, comments, concerns?
Yes, I looked into that a little bit, and I'm not really, it's not sinking in exactly what the changes that's being made. I looked at it, and it just didn't sink in my head right. Just a little.
What do you mean didn't sink in your book?
Well, I was looking at the agenda, paper that, and the packet, and I just didn't quite get a good grasp of what it was. That's all, just for a little clarification.
So, in our policy and procedure manual, and I believe when I was talking to Lisa about this, Courtney, jump in if I'm wrong, Jeremy, jump in. Our policy manual has to meet certain requirements for those grants in just verbiage, and that needs to be included in there. And so it wasn't really any dramatic changes, it just was inclusionary, I didn't say that right, inclusionary of that.
So that's what we're at right there.
Yep. I said yes, what are you pointing at?
So Mayor, two questions while Councilor Gauthier is reading that. Number one, since this does affect the police department, does this have to go through the bargaining
No,
for language in that?
I don't.
No, I mean, I'm assuming it's for the grant side, because I'm not aware of it.
So
I
in
don't know where this come from.
their contract with us, that's not in there, but we'll change ours, and it will definitely, we meet with them. I'll let the bargaining agreement, group know that we're meeting with them, this next week, and we'll include in the updating of their verbiage to make sure that that's correct. That's just a,
Well,
And then,
the FOP, I can answer part of that for you. The FOP agreement specifically says anything that's not incorporated in it, and doesn't contradict what's in our policies in the city, it adopts those. So it doesn't have to be in the FOP agreement.
okay,
thank you.
Also, this was already in our handbook, it's just being updated because the previous version for the VAWA, for the discrimination complaints from clients, customers, I'm sorry, the VAWA VOCA confidentiality policy was already in our handbook. It had a expiration date on it. It was in effect of, I think, July of 2022, and VAWA would not accept that. They wanted it to be basically a permanent thing in our handbook as far as us having the grant. So we amended it to remove that date, and then we added the responding to discrimination complaints from clients, customer program participants of everything else that it says for the city, and that just protects women with that are victims of domestic violence. It just gives them more confidential.
And it doesn't change the way officers work. They have to look out the packets they give people and the confidentiality things. I mean, they do that anyway, you know, I mean, as far as the domestic side of it goes. This will just be like she's talking, she does the administrative side of the grants, so if there's something that they need updated or something, that's what it's for.
my other question is that since this is a personnel policy procedures change, did this go through the budget and personnel committee?
No, I don't think it needs to. I think we're more or less just updating, like she said, what was there, and it's already in there, so I think we're good.
Are you good with that as the chair?
Yeah, we can extend it,
Okay.
if that's
Yeah,
what we're
it's
doing.
not.
If it had an expiration date on it, we need to get rid of that.
And then I don't have to do this every year when the document expires.
Yeah, I
And you
just
can put
wasn't
in
clear
the
on what
grants.
the changes were that was being made, that's all.
Okay.
You know, if it had a line stricken or highlighted or something, thank you.
All right, good questions, guys, thank you. Further discussion? If none, call for the vote.
Miller,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Bramwell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
Okay. Item I, this also contains a scrivener's error in it on the account. Approve an expenditure in the amount of $17,203 in Muskogee Communications for invoice 2024-0174 regarding the antenna system and power equipment for the new repeater to be paid from Police Department Capital Outlay Account 44445. That should say 5424 instead of 6424. This purchase was previously approved at the June 16th, 2020 City Council meeting.
Make the motion with Scrivener's error correction.
Okay, got a motion from Chitwood,
Second.
second from Bradshaw.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to see some kind of a notation or amendment, like we did that a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago, noting that this comes from a previous budget, and things just to kind of show that if it was something that was outstanding, just if it ever needed to be audited and tracked, it would have it there.
We actually had that purchase order carried over from 2020 to, I believe, through last fiscal year, right? And that,
Believe so.
that's when, okay. So we had the proper procedure followed for those purchase orders that were outstanding.
Captain, did you have anything you wanted to add on that?
Unless I have questions, I didn't want to.
Just tell me what it's for, because go ahead.
Okay,
I
I'll
just
say,
spoke earlier.
the repeater had previously been paid for. This was for the installation of the antenna. The repeater had been paid for, this is for installation of the repeater. They had the tower crew, if you look on the invoice there for Muskogee Communications, also for the monopole, which was the antenna, all the additional equipment and wiring and anything else that goes with it, so.
Well, when I saw the year, it kind of made me nervous.
Well, there,
2020 was kind of a bad year prior to spending, and that's what got
And
me
the-
thinking on.
yeah, and we got the fund, when we got the approval, it was the fiscal year, of course, the last council meeting before July, so that was rolled over, but again, it took quite a while through there because of COVID, I believe, speaking of Muskogee Communications, to get the repeater in. Then there was an issue with actually getting the licensing for the channels. Once they got all of that done, then getting it installed, it took a while, and then that's why we're just now bringing this to you, because they just now got everything done, got the programming into our mobiles, our in-cars, our portables, and then also there at the PD, so, to work off those new channels.
Another question I had, because the 800 trunk system, I didn't know why you need a repeater, but maybe you can answer the question on that. Is it installed right now?
The repeater? Yes, it is up and running. It's installed on the tower here, just outside the.
And what are we waiting on?
So,
We're waiting
yeah.
on them to integrate it over, patch the systems together?
So Carl is having to actually build a patch for the system because the two systems do not talk to each other. You can't scan both. If you're on a scan group, you can't scan the repeater or vice versa, depending on your.
And what we
What
mean,
channel
when you
you're
go in
on.
a building like schools, and you hit your you can't get out. So that fixed that issue, but now we gotta patch the channels together to make sure, if I pick up in the school, everybody can hear it, because right now, if you're on that school channel, just dispatch can hear you, and nobody else can, so and if you had the Dilt Roosevelt was a good example the other day, had everybody going there, and the communication was not good, and so this was one of those things that will fix it.
So this was ordered back then, but it had been paid for, that's what
The repeater had been paid for. The repeater, I'd have to have Courtney look back, because I don't have that information in front of me when we actually paid for the repeater. But the additional equipment, the installation and things, no, it had not been paid for as yet.
Now, I'm trying to keep from using your capital outlay money so much. Can we take it out of the bonded money for this?
Out of bond?
The building account, that's the excess on the,
It was necessary equipment to be installed for the new building, correct?
for our radios and stuff, yeah.
I'd want to double check with Colker and make sure that he'd be on board with that.
And I don't mind, we could put it,
I mean,
like
there's,
Muskogee.
I mean, can we lay this over, with a pinch in a bind, if we lay it over, and find out if we can pull it from somewhere else? Or does it have to be done right now?
Carl will be fine.
No, I can
So we got
contact, we can
14?
call Carl and talk to him, let him know they're just looking to,
Okay.
if they're looking to pay out of a different account.
Yeah, take you all out of the capital.
No, I agree.
well, I think we could probably do that, check and make sure if there's excess in there, make sure that it's legitimate to do that.
Do you know if in 2020, when it was approved, a specific account was approved?
She had it marked.
It was June
Yeah.
16th.
A check, because if an account was approved, then you gotta use that. If not, then you guys can do what you're talking about.
Let me see if I can.
And it may not have had a specific one, I just don't, if that was approved at the time, you gotta do what it said.
And even at
I
that
believe
account,
it, well, I can tell you, I believe it was 5091 at the time.
5091, that's correct.
and that's no
Looks
longer,
like someone- Yeah, looks like it was paid out of 0221555091.
That's correct, yes, sir, by 215.
which we don't have anymore,
Right.
that amount in there, so we would have to take it out of somewhere else. So that one has been since,
If you would
Moving
like, we
capital.
can do a no action, or we can table it, and we can come back for the next meeting. And we can check that, that's
I
not,
would think tabling would get us by the next meeting and that
Yeah.
would
Right.
make him wait forever.
yeah,
Which
it's
account
fine.
is
It's-
Do we need to make a motion to table?
I'm sorry, what?
that 5091 account, what,
That's our police maintenance account, the 5091.
But this was approved, but not paid, but it's not in there now though?
well, that money's not, there's not that much money in that account. It wasn't budgeted in there this year.
There was an error in turning in everything to be
Gotcha.
With the
re-encumbered.
transition of chiefs and everybody, it just, that one was,
Yeah, I just asked Colker what he thinks.
Yeah, so if you'll amend your motion, we can do we can table this.
I'm in my motion to table it to the next council meeting. You want to list the date or just say next council meeting?
Yeah, we can do the next,
May
Yeah.
7th.
yeah, throw it down, yep. Go ahead, the second.
Bradshaw.
Second.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All right, further discussion? If none, call for the vote.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Malloy.
Yes.
thank you.
All right. Thank you for that suggestion, Mr. Smith. Appreciate that. We'll look into that. All right, I believe we're on item Q. Approve street rehabilitation Phase 1 change order number 1 in the amount of $4,179. The payment for this change order is included in the street rehabilitation Phase 1 pay application number 3 to APAC Central DBA Dunham's Asphalt.
Make the motion.
I have a motion from Mr. Chitwood,
Second.
second from Mr. Gantier. Discussion?
Yes, I've got a couple of questions.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
bet.
Specifically, which project was this one and what's the change order for?
The change order, this is for project number 1, phase 1. This is the one that took care of the alleyways. Okay, the milling of the alleyways. And this particular change order is, we also did some what we call cross drains. And we used more concrete than what was called out on the plans to make sure the thing was gonna drain correctly, okay? And we also had some manholes in there we were gonna raise up and lower. But the next change order has us doing an overlay on what we milled, so we didn't wanna do that twice. So this change order is just to where we are to today, what the actuals were versus the estimates. And it's an increased cost of $4,173. And if you look on the change order itself, it has the details of all the things that was plus and minus.
So this is for the alleys that have already been overlaid or the ones that have been milled that aren't overlaid correctly yet?
Dale, I think this
Art
is
milled.
actually the Green Country Mobile Home Park, because that's where we put in those cross drains. The other one has that liner that we're gonna put down.
The Green Country was under phase 2?
Was it?
Yes. This is the alleyways, and in that phase 1 project, we also overlaid some of the roads.
Yes.
Okay, so what you're saying is this is where we just milled and we haven't overlaid yet, and that's what the next change order's about.
Okay, so you may talk about it in the next one, I don't know.
Mhm.
But specifically the alley that's north and south between Southeast First Street and Southeast Second Street,
Mhm.
the one that's really bad,
Mhm.
is that included in this one or in the next
The
one?
the next one.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
I take it both of these, this one and the next one, is what we discussed earlier in the street committee
It
about
is.
the only extra money is putting the blacktop down and get it put out.
Yes. Well, again, to clarify, this one that we're talking about now, Q, has nothing to do with the specifics of what to do with that alley that goes north and south.
Except for what was bid out originally in phase one, which did not include the area you're talking about.
That's
between
cut
the
out.
First and second.
But if you recall though, and we went with the codes and the matrix on the engineer plans, that did show that there was gonna be a chunk cut out that was gonna be concreted, which was not done. But then the whole thing wasn't done, so is this gonna include that concrete, tearing all that out and redoing the bed, road bed?
The concrete had been done, we just hadn't put the two inches of asphalt on top of it. We stopped them from doing that whenever we talked about doing the second change order here. If you go out there and look, it's just got a bunch of gravel on it now.
Yes.
There's actually concrete underneath that gravel.
You guarantee that?
I wasn't out there when they did it, but my inspector
Okay.
tells me it was done.
So the base is done on that with
The
concrete?
base is done on that section. I think it was a 10 by 5 or 10 by 6 section.
Okay. So why was it done with concrete and then poured gravel on top of it?
That,
When the rest of the alleys that had that concrete done was nice and smooth and left that way?
rest of,
The other alley aprons and other alleys that had concrete put on them?
we put asphalt in that particular alley. If you go south of there,
Yes, you did,
all
yes,
of
you
it,
did.
all of that was done in asphalt. And that's what this next change order is recommending. Let's carry that change order up to that half a block that's really rough right now. If I'm answering your question, I'm sorry if I'm not.
Well, it's really confusing to me, because to me, from the naked eye and the layman's person, and believe me, I look at this because I want it done right. It looks to me like nothing had been done to it, and then if it had been concreted, why pour gravel over the top of it? To make it look like it hadn't even been done.
Well, the original plan was to put 2 inches of asphalt on top of that concrete, okay? That has not been done yet. There's 2 patches just north of there that hasn't been done
Right.
yet. We did a final inspection of that work, and that's something the contractor has to come back and take care of, okay?
Okay.
But that particular patch you're talking about there, we're proposing in the other change order is take it all the way from Second Street, all the way up past the entrance into the bank. That rough area right there,
Okay.
we're
That's on the
proposing to
next
fix
one.
it.
Okay.
That's on the next.
Behind the gas station.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Further questions, comments? Call for the vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Malure,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
All right, item R, approve street rehabilitation phase 1 change order number 2 in the amount of $72,261 to APAC Central, DBA Dunham's Asphalt.
Motion.
Second.
A motion from Mr. Choya, second from Mr. Chitwood. Discussion?
Yes, these change orders, how much is it increasing our cost, and is it falling within our predetermined scope of where we're gonna be, how much we can spend?
So I think when we looked at this, if you remember back in, what was that, November? Maybe I'm wrong on that. When we took that street from the one project over to 9th Street, we gave that to the county.
Yeah.
Because they had requested, I'm saying this specifically clearly, they requested to do that, in our behalf. That gave us, I want to say, what was it, Dale, 50, do you have that number in front of you, 52,000? When we took that section of 50.
It was, I think it was like 48,000 that got rolled over. I think we finally determined we had, and Courtney might correct me on this, I think we had over 150,000 left in the budget.
Yeah, and then we also had, when we get back to the alleyways, we realized we still had the 150 from the EDTA that had been offered, and that had not been applied. So we still have that as well. But
And so this change order, 72,000-ish plus the 4,000-ish will go towards
well,
that.
and when we got into, oh, let's see, when we got into, I believe it was, if you look at your map, he just handed you that top pink alleyway there, above 4th Street.
I don't know.
Okay. When we get into that, we realized that we had to make some changes to the overlays, correct, Dale? Is that what we're talking about here, where we had to go to the 323
Yeah.
or the
that-
232?
Yeah, that was in that section right there.
I'll let you explain that.
Yeah, well, what this change order is, if you drove down the alleys, you can see that they were milled off, okay? And we haven't done anything to the top of that yet. It was all, I was always in the impression we was going to do it in the next year's funds, but we were talking about this at the street committee, and we needed to do it now, okay? I went and talked to the contractor, and he honored his asphalt prices. So all we are doing on this is just increasing the units of what we're doing. We're adding the tons to do the overlay. The pink is what we're taking care of with this change order.
If I'm not mistaken, this is what we discussed, what, 4, 6 weeks ago? or something like
Yeah,
that?
we've discussed this quite a bit.
What account is it coming from? Same, the 5410, is it coming from the same one?
Yeah, everything that we've done so far has come out of his 5410.
Okay.
Courtney, while we're on the subject of the numbers and what it counts, the money that was gonna be transferred from EDPA, has that been done yet?
Yes, you'll see that in, either March or April's financials, I can't remember which one I did it in, but yeah,
It's already been transferred, okay.
yeah.
And when will that be paid out to this, to the contractors on this? Or is that included in these numbers?
I did transfers here and at the bank, I don't do anything as far as payouts go until after you guys approve them.
Okay, well, what I mean is that $100,000, how's that divided up in this
The 150,000?
150,000?
You guys gave me an account number to deposit that into, and I'm pretty sure it was the 5410. So I put it in there, and then you guys determine how it gets spent.
They haven't been touched yet, though.
It has not been touched, but it was solely for, and
The downtown alleys.
correct. And any unused amount goes back to the EDTA. And that's where we're at right now, is see what we get.
Okay. Dale, when this project starts, or when do they expect to come in to start these?
He told me if it gets approved tonight, he'll schedule it in. So I'm gonna say within, 2 or 3 weeks.
All right, thank you.
Just for reference, we have $147,780 left on the blanket for this.
Can you give me that again? 147?
Yeah, 147,780.
That's unencumbered.
That is encumbered funds on a blanket that we've encumbered for these projects.
Any further comments, questions? If none, call for the vote.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Okay. Item S, approve an expenditure in the amount of $129,251.30 to APAC Central, DBA Dunham's Asphalt Services for Street Rehabilitation Phase 1, pay application number 3, to be paid from Street Asphalt Overlay Account 141455410. This project was approved at September 5th, 2023 council meeting.
Make a motion?
A motion from Mr. Chitwood and a second from Mr. Gantier. Discussion?
Yes. Dale, same questions. What which part of the job is this on the map, and what were the change orders?
This particular pay app, okay, is for the original proper project, phase one. The milling of the alleyways, the overlay of that, and the change orders is just what we just approved, the $4,000 one, okay? Just of note, we are still holding retainage out, because we haven't accepted the project as complete, because we knew the $72,000 change order was coming about.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And that's on page 73 of your packet. All right, further discussion, questions? If none, call for the vote.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw, Lord,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Okay. Item U, approve accepting bid for Salt Creek Branch, Phase 2 from Envision Civil Contractors in the amount of $180,000. In the best interest of the city, other bids received from Voy Construction in the amount of $491,090 and Key Maintenance for $789,000.
Make the motion.
I have a motion from Mr. Chitwood
I'll second.
and a second from Choi. Discussion.
Yes, I do. If I recall correctly, at the street committee meeting, I don't know how many ago now, didn't we talk about this then and approve that then? Or did we just open up the bids back then and not?
No.
I was at a meeting here when we opened up bids for that.
Mhm. There was two proper projects to take care of Salt Branch. I'm just gonna try to make.
This is the one that's west of Highway 69 and to the Larimore property.
The Larimore property. That is this one, yes.
Okay. So if we're just now approving this, it looks like on the next item is that we've already got a change order for it in a phase 2 pay app, but we haven't even awarded the contract to them yet. And we've already got a pay app for it. And if we're just now awarding this bid to them, didn't they already start the work here a while back, and there was a big blow up about them messing up Mr. Larimore's property already? But we haven't even officially awarded the bid until tonight.
I think the bid has already been awarded.
We've awarded that bid.
I was
already.
thinking we
Yeah.
did.
I was trying to
It's
follow
showing
the
up on here.
packet here.
Yes,
Yeah, and that work, I think all but maybe throwing down some seed.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
What do they call that?
The item was on the agenda, and I mean, we bid this thing back in December.
That's what I thought we did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so it
this
is
is-
awarded back.
This portion's a Scrivener's error.
I think we can strike you.
Was you actually approved by the council? I think that may have been the issue on this. It was approved by our committee, but not necessarily the council to accept it.
Is that what it was? So we need to approve it?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
fabulous. So we just need to approve it. It was approved by the street committee, but apparently not by the council.
But they've already started work.
They're done.
We didn't pay him. Okay.
And remind you guys who sits on those committees as well, so we just, is what it is. So we need to approve that.
Should we reword how we make that motion?
What would you suggest rewarding it to? I don't think we need to. I think we just approve it as it is.
I mean, the work's already done, it's no longer bid.
Why was this not put on the agenda for us to approve it before the job started?
I don't have an answer for that one. I apologize. I don't.
Mr. McBride, approving it as it's written, will it cause any backlash or should it be changed?
It shouldn't. I think approving it as it's written is what you need to do.
Okay.
I would highly encourage you to do so as it's already been done. The work.
Interesting.
we discussed this in a council meeting.
I'm pretty sure we did.
I really do, because I was not in the street committee meeting, and it seems like I remember this being discussed, but I cannot swear to that.
I feel like this was approved.
We have no record of that. It has not been on a council agenda. It needs approved today so that we can pay them.
Okay, let's approve it, please.
And since you're saying it's already completed, was it completed to the landowner's satisfaction?
As of right now, that's what we've been told, that Mr. Larimore is satisfied.
We talk to him every day.
Okay. Further discussion? If none, call for the vote.
Lamar,
No.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Yes.
Bradshaw, Malure,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
No.
Item V, approve an expenditure in the amount of $85,025 to Envision Civil Contractors for Salt Creek Branch Phase 2, AF1, to be paid from Street and Drainage Projects account 141455092.
Make the motion.
A motion from Mr. Chitwood,
Second.
second from Mr. Malore. Discussion?
Yes, I have a question.
Yep.
Since the job's complete and it was done to the satisfaction of the landowner, what exactly was done through there? Did they find a whole bunch of debris shrubbery, brush, whatever had to be cleaned out? Is it
Shrubbery,
clear
brush,
channel?
they dug out fire pits to burn everything out there. We're gonna be putting seed down. It's not 100% complete, but for all practical purposes it is.
He's got some hydro
I did it.
seeding to do yet.
Right. We did a preliminary final today, and soon we found a few minor things. As soon as that gets done, I'll contact the mayors and Buddy, and we'll go out there and we'll do a final inspection on the project.
Was there any other treasures found out there other than the first car that Mr. Larimore?
That's the only one that.
The only thing that was there that was known?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And if anybody's not sure what he's talking about, that car is visible from the road. It's kind of cool. It's pretty old ordeal there, sitting in the side of the embankment, so. Further questions, comments? None? Call for the vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Malure,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. Item W, approve Pryor Creek Recreation Center to accept a bid from Jayco in the amount of $279,000 for the replacement of a rooftop unit over the pool to be paid from Recreation Center Repair and Maintenance Account 848455091. A deposit in the amount of, and there's a error on that one, that should be $130,000 will be paid in this fiscal year, the balance will be paid in the next fiscal year's budget once the equipment has been delivered. Your motion?
Make the motion with the Scrivener's error correction, $130,000.
Motion from Chitwood,
Second.
second from Bradshaw. Mike?
So, as I've been mentioning, we've been on HVAC alert for quite a while now. We replaced 3 units, got that completed back in March. After evaluation, I've got Seth Jacobson here, and I'll call him up in just a bit, but with Jayco, and so after evaluation, I'm not sure how much I got into it when I gave my report early in the month, but there's 2 units in the pool, 2 40-ton units in the pool. Discovered that they're each operating at half capacity. One is heating, one is cooling, and so after all the evaluation, decided that it looks like we can get by with a 50-ton unit to do everything. We'll take one off, put the 50-ton unit on, keep the other one going for airflow, take the parts off of the old one we're taking off, and then, move forward hopefully in a positive manner. It's obviously a spendy operation. Did do some due diligence, talked to Ray Corporation. Well, and I talked to Eric Swank a little bit about, do they do this type of unit? And they do, but not on this small a structure. But he said that they would look at it, so one of their engineers called me. We had a discussion. I sent him some information that I had on the components of the unit, and he thought that it looked in line with kind of with the application being in a pool area with all the chemical gas and humidity, and thought the price was very, very reasonable too. So we feel pretty good about where we're at with that, paying for it. If you look at our financials through February on the repair and maintenance, we're $20,597 upside down right now. Although we're 11.4% ahead in our spending, meaning we've not spent 11.4 that we budgeted so far. So we're sitting in a pretty good position there. Once we found out that we were going to be spending more money than we initially planned on the HVAC units, we had some other lines that we didn't spend money out of, some equipment lines both on the general side and aquatics. And so I did talk to Jeff Coker a little bit about how to handle capital and that kind of thing. And in our setting, we can't like in the private sector, you can pull your stuff off in the balance sheet. We really can't do that, capital improvement, so we have to use it as an expense. So anyway, we're putting it all in there, and we also can move monies within our budget from line to line without any approval, because we're not asking for more budget money. And based on what we haven't spent within our budget, and then the cash that we seem to be carrying, because we are cash flowing. If you pull the big HVAC unit expenditures out, we've been cash flowing for the year, so we're sitting pretty good, and we feel like that we can probably get through this ordeal without having to take money out of our maintenance reserve. We've got those CDs for 600-some thousand, so that's kind of the long and the short of it. Got Seth here, can answer any more technical questions, but
I have more of a finance question. 84845501 has a negative amount of 20,900.
Right.
So I think you're kind of answering my question. Where are you pulling the other money from?
Well, I talked to Jeff, and I sent Courtney a note here after I talked to Jeff. We'll wait till we get to the end of the year. I've got a pretty good idea. We'll probably pull it out of our 5410, which is the capital equipment, or we've got we budgeted 80 grand in our aquatics maintenance and repair, because we had some big ticket items we wanted to do there, but we're holding off on that. So between those two, I think Charlie.
So at this point, you're just going to continue to overspend the 5091.
Yeah, at this point.
And then at
with
the end, because the 5410 only has 58,800 in it.
Right, yeah. The other one started out with 80 on the aquatics.
I think personally, I'd rather see it, the amount there to spend rather than we'll put it in later.
Well,
I got a problem with that. Also, was there more bids than Jayco for this?
No, not directly, no.
So we didn't go out for bids, we just picked the company?
Yeah. Well, we've been working with Jayco.
I know, but by law, we've got to do bids, I think.
Sure.
Counselor, is that correct?
I think that's right, I need to double check that though.
Can I ask something?
Sure.
Have you solicited? Have you
No.
asked for other bids?
No.
Okay, that's all our code book requires, is for him to go out for bid,
Now,
solicitate bids.
when we did,
Say, for clarification, when you say code book, what are you referring to?
Our city code book,
I think state law requires us to do
it's
it,
the same.
that we would have to go out for bid.
so when
We just have to solicitate bids, we don't have to, receive 3 bids back or anything like that, we just have to solicitate.
when we did the first three units, we did solicit 3 bids and only received 1. And now this situation is bigger. And, we just kind of built a good relationship with Jayco, because they've been involved in, we've got 14 units, and he's been evaluating them, and, knows exactly where they're at. I mean, one of the local guys came in, Masters in particular, came in, spent an hour looking at those other 3 units, and never sent a bid.
And,
Don't get me wrong, I'm
No,
not picking on you.
I'm
picking on the process.
yeah, and if, I don't know what the latitude is on that, but if we have to have three, that's no problem, I have no problem with that.
I agree with Bruce on both things that he mentioned, because I don't want us to get in trouble for not
No.
properly getting the bids and all that, but I am extremely uncomfortable, especially from what happened when I first was on council about, we're gonna move money and it either gets forgotten, or maybe we forget that we've designated money for something, and then next thing you know, we spend it not remembering. And so I'm extremely uncomfortable allocating this kind of money.
So we've been in through this process, it's been, how many months now?
6.
6 months. We've been in contact with Colker, and like Mike said, his recommendation was that we don't have to move it all right away. We can move it within the accounts, and so at this point, the idea is to just see where that ends up being at the end of the year, and then the balances will cover over. We're not overdrafting Mike's he's not overspending his budget by any means.
But you have around 600,000 in CDs.
Six,
Correct.
And I think Courtney will testify that, we're in pretty close contact on what's going on in our budget.
There's also usually a big penalty for CD.
It depends on when it comes due.
They're due in October,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so they come to full maturity, I believe it's October 24th.
So it's not that.
It's either the 24th or the 29th, I apologize.
Yeah, they're all in October though. 667,972 and 87 cents, so. I guess the only other thing is we're coming up on summer, and, we need air conditioning in there. It's a 14-week lead time, so, but the law is the law. So if the law dictates that, then we'll.
I think you need to solicit bids, not to say you can't go with Jayco at the end of
Right.
this, even if they're not the lowest.
Okay.
There's a reason why you go with them.
Chase, when you say solicit bids, do you mean just like call up a vendor and say, would you wanna
I think you put
do
it,
this, or put a notice in the newspaper for a legal notice that we're accepting bids?
I'd give a notice to cover yourself.
And should it be that way on all major expenditures for, like, for example, other projects too?
The only
It
one
could-
I think we've encountered since I've been attorney that we didn't need to was the emergency.
Emergency purchase, yeah.
Other than that, I think we need to be doing that.
So this would be a good idea to table this one.
If that AC goes down, it'll be an emergency.
Yeah.
Well, if this isn't necessarily a table, we're gonna need to re-attack this and go out for bids for the whole project, not just table the contract going to this one vendor.
Yeah, I would
Correct.
feel
I don't
better.
think a table is the right option.
Once we do this, to have the money there before we okay to spend it. Just my personal feeling.
Well, if we're gonna do a no action on it tonight, that would give time to get those funds shuffled around as needed.
I would greatly appreciate that.
No action, that gives us, we don't have a time limit.
Correct.
He's in a crunch to get an air conditioner up.
Correct.
then
But it means he can
table
come back
it, then
anytime.
we can.
Well, we need to reject this bid. The motion needs to be to reject the bid and go out for bids based on the city attorney's opinion and advertise them as in a legal notice for bids for this project. Correct?
That's not necessarily
Not-
rejection.
Correct. So, just so you guys know, here's what it says. No public contract for the purchase of equipment, vehicles, and any other fixed asset or improvement to property, whether real or personal, yada, 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 over 2,500 without bid. I just summarized a massive thing.
So is that state law or is that our city ordinance?
That's
that
your
we were
city
told?
ordinance, but I think that is gonna
What
copy your
is it?
state.
Yeah.
Specify three?
Over 150.
Specify
So I would recommend no action on this, so we can go and.
So you don't have to have three?
I think you just do the bidding, whatever you get in.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I got you. But you have to do it like public notice kind of a thing, 30 days probably?
30 days isn't in that, but normally. We can go through all that when you guys put it out.
Okay. Okay,
So will we also direct the city clerk's office to notify and put that bid in the newspaper, or how does that work? What's the procedure for that?
The typical procedure is the department heads go out for bid themselves and contact the vendors that they would wish to get a bid from, preferably via email, so there's documentation. we don't always put bids in the newspaper, it's not a requirement. It's helpful, posting on our website would be helpful, but none of that is a requirement. As long as
I
we
thought
have,
you just advised that we should do it that way.
That's how we normally do it, I don't know whether that is
I
required.
think that's even safest, is do it publicly, and everybody knows.
I agree.
If I was in charge of this, and this is no reflection on you,
I'm good.
but if I was in charge of this, and I was gonna go out for bids, and I wanted to give it to Gagne and ask these other two, don't do anything with it, and then he gets it, that's where you could get into or get accused of.
I agree, I'm just
In
telling you what the
public, you
process
wouldn't
is and
have
what
that.
the requirements are.
I would like it on the website, because that's, we can control that, it's an easy thing.
Me too.
I always recommend doing bidding in the newspaper, just because that is the official legal publication for the county.
And you said he has to wait 30 days before,
You have to give a deadline, it doesn't have to be 30 days.
doesn't have to be, because it sounds like this needs to get moving.
Send your
When
specs
summer's.
out.
Yeah, this is,
Here's
this is
the- here's
an
the
important
deadline.
item.
Quickest way possible.
Maybe.
Here's the deadline, here's when we're gonna evaluate them. Yeah.
The council be okay with a 10 or 15-day posting, 2-week posting?
Sure.
I'm
Having
happy
them by
with 10
next-
days. I'm happy with 10
By
days.
next council
It'd
meeting.
be great to have this taken care of next
Who
time.
made the motion?
I did.
Would you amend your motion to reject the bid, post it for 2 weeks, and come back with the 3 bids?
I will. I'll change my motion to reject this bid, post it for 2 weeks, come back to the council with new bids, with the updated bids, if any.
And I'll
So
second
a
it.
yes vote is to reject.
Before you guys do all of this, if we post it for 2 weeks, never mind, we're good. Calendar tells us, right. I was like, it's not gonna work out, I'm not gonna get the bids back in time, but we're okay.
We'll need to set a date that the bids will be opened.
They would be opened, I would guess, May
And
1st,
closing.
because they would close at 5 PM on April 30th. They couldn't close any later than 5 PM on April 30th anyway.
So is the question how soon we can get it posted? Mr. Allward, how quick can we get that posted in your paper?
As long as we get it to him by noon.
by noon tomorrow, it'll be in the April 22nd paper.
We can work with it, we'll get that done.
2 weeks.
So,
Not that, 8 days.
So we would need to go,
Open on May the 6th.
okay, based on when your paper comes out, yeah. So we would open them on May 6th, May, was it 6th or 7th,
May
council?
6th, and then we can do an addendum to place it on the council
Correct.
agenda.
Does that work?
You're saying to, what date to open the bids?
May 6th,
May 6th,
Monday the 6th.
which is the day before the council meeting.
Correct,
right, which is why we would have to do an addendum,
okay.
unless
with
you
that?
guys want well, you can't have it that late, so.
Okay, does that work, everybody?
Okay.
Do you have what you need for that motion?
So yes, to reject.
Yes is to reject and do what we just discussed. Okay, call for the vote.
What time are we going to open these on May 6th? If we accept bids through the 3rd, then that is 13 days. 13 business days from tomorrow.
So, what do we
You
think?
guys suggested 14, so.
Said 14 days, I didn't say business days.
I think, does that have to be business days, Chase, or is it calendar?
I don't see anything in here about the days.
That'll work.
So the bidding would close on May 1st, and then we would open them on the 6th.
Correct,
Okay, at 5 PM.
yes.
Does that work with you on the publishing in the paper on May 1st?
May 1st is just 8 days from April 20, 9 days from April 22nd. Is that not, I don't know what you're.
There's no requirement on how long it has to run in the paper, so we're okay.
Just run it one time?
Yeah.
Do that and stick it on the website.
We can do that. Okay,
And you said a yes vote will approve what we just,
yes, a yes vote is what we just discussed. When you're ready for the vote.
and Chitwood and Bradshaw amended their motions.
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready when you guys are.
Call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Yes.
Malure, Chitwood,
Yes.
Randall,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Okay. Item X, approve Pryor Creek Rec Center to accept a bid from Green Thumb Landscape and Lawn Care at a monthly cost of $1,800 to be paid from Recreation Center Grounds Keeping Account 848455047. Two other companies were solicited, but no bids were received. Do I have a motion?
Make the motion.
Motion.
Second?
And a motion from Chitwood and a second from Bradshaw, sorry.
Mr. Mayor, I've got somewhat the same argument on this one.
What's that?
Bids. We didn't go out for public bids evidently on this.
Two other companies were solicited, but no bids were received.
Okay, but there again, it should have been a public. People contacted me, said, I didn't know anything about this. Well, if you didn't call me, I wouldn't know, but if I put it in the paper, then it'll.
Mike, how did you go out for those bids?
Well, just kind of like it was done last year, just started asking around, contacted the same group that did last year, found out about a new group that did, did our landscaping, they do it. And then a guy I know, had a guy that does his property, and so I contacted him. And he came and checked our stuff out, but I never received a bid. And Oklahoma Mowing, I never received a bid on that. He claimed he didn't get, because I emailed him some stuff and he called me up. This was after the deadline I'd told all those guys that I needed it by the 6th of March. And he said, well, I didn't get your email. And I went back and I sent him an email on the 21st at 5 o'clock, and he said, oh, yeah, I did. And
Well, in your defense, if we did it publicly in the paper, you wouldn't have that problem.
yeah, I don't have a problem. I just need to know that's the requirement.
This would be absolutely no different than, what item was that? The, animal shelter, G and H, no, I'm sorry, F and G, where the bids were sought out the same way. And we approved that process. Jeremy went out, Chief, I'm sorry, went out for bids, asked around.
But it also, in to defense of that, it also listed that there were other people that bid on it, and how much they bid too.
Yeah.
So to
So we
clarify,
knew.
it's solicitation of competitive quotations on prices or bids. That's actually the wording. If you're asking my opinion, if you have time, I always say bids, because the definition of solicitation is not necessarily defined. You have a lot better shot of somebody coming in saying, I didn't have notice of this to sue, than if you do the public bid. That's why I
One of
always
the complaints I
advise.
got was the guy said, I didn't know anything about it. Now, whether he'll bid under or be cheaper, I don't know.
Who did it last year?
Oklahoma Mowing.
I would suggest that we absolutely do not consider any bid from that company.
They didn't turn one into us anyway.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
Good.
relevant to the item here. The idea is that, Mr. Moore solicited, correct? We can say solicited.
You can say solicited.
He solicited the three bids, and he got the one from Green Thumb Landscape and Lawn Care, and the other two did not return, they did not return anything. So the process, as far as I'm concerned, was followed correctly, as we've done it in every other department and every other situation, as per what our legal counsel has read to us just now.
And that follows state statute.
So, and what I did is, I have emails that I sent to all of them with the same, I created my own little spec sheet, so they all got the same thing. And so, just to that point, so everybody's got the even playing field, so they know exactly, and I just received
And
one.
as well, wasn't the number above 2,500?
Yes.
So,
I've got a quick question.
yes, sir.
If they were, whoever gets this contract, whether it be tonight or whenever, when does the contract begin and when does it end?
Well, it's stated on my bid sheet, I didn't bring it, but, and it's kind of loose because the time, depending on the time of the year, it's basically April to October. For the sake of the bidding, so they were bidding on the same time frame, I picked a date.
So,
And
page
I don't-
93 of the packet
Yeah,
says,
if you look on there, yeah, there's probably is there a
the
sheet on it?
7-month period of April 1st, 2024 to October 31st, 2024, including any seasonal adjustments agreed to by the rec center director and Green Thumb.
Okay, my question about that is, we're in the middle, we're gonna be coming up with a budget, and I know we've been talking about possibly a grounds crew department in the city in the new budget. So my point for bringing that up is, would this be just through the end of the fiscal year?
Until that's.
Because we may have are they aware that that may be terminated at any time?
Well, I
What I
told him that that was kind of, that was something that the
Right.
mayor was working
So-
on, but we didn't talk about
So
it.
right now, that's just discussion. That's one of the things that we're looking at possibly bringing into next year.
Right.
Until that is set in stone, voted on by you guys and in place, we have to continue business as normal. And so this would be.
Correct, but
This would be the process that we would do, and so.
would it be notified in their contract though that it
So,
could end sooner?
Will you repeat what you just said?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to them that was something that was in the works, but had no idea what the timeline was. So I didn't, we didn't really get into it very deep, Terry, honestly.
So,
But he knows that that was some.
Could I
some
get a little
discussion.
better explanation of what is considered the front and what is considered the back?
Yeah, so, I don't know if I had a map, so, obviously up in front by the building, the landscaping and everything to the street. And then on the side, on the west side, there's a fence for the
Childcare.
the childcare there, and to there. And then over on the east side, there's a strip there that's a little nicer grass, and then it's kind of a quagmire, the rest of it, right? And so up over, and then the employee parking lot to that point, that's kind of considered the front.
So from the fence to the drive that circle around the back of the building, that's not considered part of the front? Because I used to cut the rec center, and if you don't cut that part all at once, it really looks funny.
What does that matter?
Well, I'm just, we're bidding on it, and it's,
Well,
the
front, I would,
Write the contract, I mean, what's
yeah,
the
I mean, it's,
Mr. Mayor, I call for the vote.
thank you.
Malure,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
no.
Smith,
No.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
thanks, gentlemen.
Ladies.
Thank you.
Mayor's report, item 4. Discussion and possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $5,000.
Did we skip number Y?
I did not pull number Y.
Letter.
X was the last one.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, just making sure I didn't miss some, but I didn't pull it. All right, discussion and possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $5,167 to Lakeland Office Systems for a smart display board for the council chambers to be paid from clerk capital outlay account 444455417. This purchase will be reimbursed with GRDA grant funds. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
A motion
I'll
from Mr.
second.
Chitwood and a second from Mr. Malure. I want to let everybody know how grateful we are to GRDA for assisting in this request. So as we have been working diligently to try to update the technology that we have in our council chambers, I approached Jared Crisp with MUB. Most of you know he's associated with GRDA and a lot of his doings, and he sits on several of their boards. And I just asked him if there were grant funds for a smart board. And he said, I don't know, I gotta ask. He came back Thursday of last week, and said that GRDA has agreed to reimburse us the $5,167 for us to, here where this monitor is, to put a 72-inch smart board display, which that is a tremendous help. If you've ever been able to see how that works, that would allow, for example, me to cast the agenda, the items directly from my computer to that smart board. That can also, there's pins for writing. What brought this up was, for example, our discussion, Mr. Lamar, when was that we talked about the alleys? Months ago.
Actually, it was right before you took office,
Right,
when I talked
so
about these
April,
things.
we'll say
Yes.
April, and the concern was, we talked a lot, but we didn't have anything to look at. And we couldn't, and I said, well, put it up on the board and let's, that was a text to the previous mayor, put it on the board so we can see what we're talking about. Now we will be able to do that. So through generous contributions, grants from GRDA and Google, we're proud to say that we've been able to clean up the microphone situation. We've got our better cameras for broadcasting that on the internet. And if any of you have seen the quality of those videos, it is 100 times better. We got the Nina head nod there, so she approves. And now we'll be able to, again, continue to present better information. What we do with this TV, whether we add it here or put it in the break room, or not the break room, the conference room, for use there, we don't know yet. We will have to pay for the installation. If it will do that, that's not going to be a huge, incredibly large thing. And then we will also have to buy a battery backup, which they're not much, they're pennies. But that battery backup, when the power is tested on the generators every week, MUB did not have one, and it fried their Promethean board. So at their request with this, we have to pay for the installation and the battery backup, which is a couple $100. So again, great thanks to GRDA for doing that for us. We just need your guys' approval now. Further questions?
The mounting bracket, is it gonna be articulating or?
Probably not, those don't move. You don't want them to move. Yeah, 72 is quite large, so. Any further? If not, call for the vote.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Malure,
Yes.
Thank you. Item 5, City Attorney's Report.
Hey, Mayor,
Hey, what?
you wanna go to the addendum first?
We can. That would be great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Troy. All right, let's go to our addendum. Item 1. I'm going to invite Mr. Anderson to come up as the head of the EDTA. Discussion and possible action regarding transfer in the amount of $75,000 from Fund 68 to a new fund to be created under the Economic Development Trust Authority for the use of funding the Bluegrass and Chili Festival event in downtown Pryor.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion from Choya and a second from Chitwood.
So the first thing is, thank you for moving this up. I always seem to be the last one on the agenda, hours later. So I appreciate this. This request is to get your approval to transfer $75,000 from the Downtown Tax Fund 68 to the EDTA so that we can host a Bluegrass and Chili Festival. This is the same festival that's been around for 45 years. These funds would be used for the agreement between the EDTA and the entertainers and the stage rentals and to host the event. All of that would be between the EDTA and those individuals. This 75 would help put the event on. We would seek sponsorships for the event. Years past, when they've held this event, they have told us that they replace most of those funds. As we've had several meetings, you guys may have watched the EDTA meeting. The first year of an event is always an unknown, but just to give you an economic indicator, I ran some numbers on a spreadsheet that's available online. For this type of event, Dale Davis, who is the showrunner for it, expects about 15,000 people annually. You'll always lose a little bit when it moves, and then it builds back up, so it will be somewhere, we think, between 10 and 15,000. If you do 15,000 people, you figure 90% of those come from outside your community. The tickets are zero, so there's no revenue generation from the ticket sales or anything. But you take 15,000 people, 90% of them from out of town, that's around 13,000 people. You figure about 10% of those will stay in hotels. One thing about our hotels, we do run at a pretty high occupancy level anyway. And several of the hotels are outside of our, out of our tax district. So 10% of that, and then you figure that of those people, they spend $25 a day for a 2-day event on drinks and food, and then $25 on other things at the show that we collect sales tax on and things. That translates to about a $2 million economic impact for this 2-day event. And of that, city gets 4%. 4% is about 80,000. Now, we'll see how all the numbers come out, but that's what we're anticipating. It's a 2-day show. Dale says it starts at 5 o'clock sharp on Friday, runs until 11, and then on Saturday it starts at 11 a.m. and runs till 11 p.m. So that's the condensed version of this. So would you guys have any questions, and ladies? Or would you like to just say yes?
Well, you answered one of my questions, and the second, this falls then the usability of the funds within 60 days.
Absolutely.
Yes, and we've already tested that with the use with the MOU with Main Street, which the funds go to host the carnivals and events downtown.
I know you and I have discussed this
Sure.
personally. Publicly what that process.
It all has to be done within the confines of the downtown district, so it has to go from 69 to Elliott, or it can go from 69 to Elliott and from First Street to First Street. So all of this economic impact will be right there for the show. I know from talking to Dale at previous locations that they were in, places like our McDonald's being so far away from downtown, they still showed a 17% increase during those 2 days. So that's a pretty big economic impact for Pryor.
So as we discussed this and we began talking, we do realize that this will, September 8th and 9th?
7th.
7th and 8th. I apologize. I knew the 8th was one of the days. The 8th, the 7th and 8th, we realize that's the weekend between Rocklahoma and Born and Raised. So we're looking for those 2 weekends to be action-packed and full. That Friday, we also have, Friday and Saturday, we have the Dam Jam. So one of the concerns that had come up in discussion was, is there a way to get the cyclists to kind of stay in town a little bit longer? And then if anybody's been a part of a cycling community, you know this fits right into what they do. So the hope is to let them have a little reception at the end of the Dam Jam and then find a way to get them downtown. And we should see the benefits of that. And so the one thing that we'll do as we get closer is we will be seeking volunteers.
Absolutely.
And that'll be a coordinated effort.
And for those volunteers, just a slight correction, it's the 6th and the 7th. You said 7th and 8th. 6th and 7th.
Look, I'm batting 100 tonight. So the idea is that that'll be a coordinated effort through the festival and through the EDTA.
To go into some of the details about the balance in the account, as of April 1st, Courtney and I have went through these numbers 100 times.
I feel that, yeah.
So April 1st, the fund balance was $256,351.88. That is after the transfer of the 140 for the streetscape and the 150 for the alleyways. Additional revenue for April will be approximately $11,000, so that will put us at $267,351.88. Then this request for 75 will take the balance down to $192,351.88, and then an additional $22,000 for May and June would put us back up to $214,351.88 in this account. Again, that's what this account was designed to do. Our goal is to, through sponsorships and drink sales, to get back to that 75, not making that promise, but the overall economic impact in Pryor and the fact that we're bringing an event that is ready-made and attracts many people from outside of our community is what we're after here.
The state has very much been behind this one on their tourism and economic development website. Last week when we had Matt Pinnell in town, our lieutenant governor, we made mention of that to him, and he was very excited for us. So I think we'll be able to see the state giving us hopefully some promotional pushes there on their website.
Right.
That'll be the encouragement.
And the media recognition, through the agreements for advertising or in kind, they get to say they sponsor it and we get the media coverage.
Adam had mentioned that this had been around for 45 years. It started out in downtown Tulsa and went from there to Claremore and then to Wagner and now to us. So this has been around a long time and it's been a very big asset to the cities that have hosted it in the past. And I am very, very excited that we're getting it to come to Pryor. Hopefully it'll be here for several years to come too.
That is our plan.
If you guys vote yes, we're excited to start this journey with the festival. Any further questions? If not, let's get to some exciting, hopefully some exciting news.
Thank you for moving this up.
Call for the vote?
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Malou,
Yes.
Chitwood.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you in September. We'll see Mr. Bush. Tomorrow and next week and the following week. We've had what, four meetings or 3 or 4 meetings already, so.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Now we'll go on to our city attorney's report. Possible executive session pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4 of the Oklahoma Open Meeting Act for the purpose of confidential communications with attorney regarding pending police grievance and arbitration entitled Mays County Fraternal Order of Police Lodge Number 116 in Dillon Hamel versus the City of Pryor Creek.
Motion that we enter into executive session for the item listed.
Motion from Gantier,
Second.
second from Chitwood. Call for the vote.
When you guys don't have discussion, you talk so much faster. Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Malou,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Okay. We'll be back in a little bit. Whistle or a tune and she knows the way. Ready? Okay, we are, item B, consider resuming regular session. No action taken during executive session.
Motion?
Second.
Got a motion for Mr. Chitwood and a second for Mr. Gantier. Call for the vote.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Chip,
Yes.
Chitwood, thank you. Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Item C will be a no action, possible action based on executive session pursuant to 25-307B4 of the Oklahoma Open Meeting Act for the purpose of confidential communications with attorney regarding pending police grievance and arbitration entitled Mays County Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 116 and Dylan Hamel versus the City of Pryor Creek.
Motion for no action.
Got a motion from Gantier,
Second.
second from Mr. Chitwood. Call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Item 6, committee reports, budget personnel.
14th next month.
14th. Okay. Insurance, an ordinance.
30th. Do we have any items to discuss at this point?
Possibly.
Because we did not go through the other thing yet.
Possibly. We'll get back with you on that one. Street and maintenance?
I believe it's the 23rd.
23rd. That's your last one too, isn't it? Oh, man. Okay. All right, item 7, any unforeseeable business? We have none. And item 8, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Chitwood and a second from Mr. Gantier. Call for the vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Okay, we'll call to order the Pryor Public Works Authority. Approve the minutes of the April 2nd, 2024 meeting.
Make a motion?
Second.
We have a motion for Mr. Chitwood and a second for Mr. Gantier. Call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Okay. Item 3, unforeseeable business. Before we close this council session tonight, this is the last night that Mr. Malore and Mr. Chitwood will be with us. So we'd like to wish them well in their future endeavors, thank them for their service, for the time and effort dedicated to the city of Pryor, time away from your families and friends, and so heartfelt thank you goes to both of you gentlemen.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Chitwood, item number 4.
Adjourn. Motion.
I'll
got
second
backwards,
the
didn't I?
adjournment.
It's all right, you're excited. You're done. Motion for Mr. Chitwood and a second for Mr. Gantier.
Unless Mr. Malore would like the honors to second the final one.
I still have a meeting on the budget. But I guess-
Yeah, it's your last council session.
Oh, yeah, I'll second, yes.
So we'll change that second to Mr. Malore. All right. Call for the vote.
Miller,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Adjourn.
Okay, so now.